homeboy picked me up and we just started doing charity. We was donating ass whoopers to anybody who needed it. Everybody who ran up, have a seat. Motherfucker ran up, have a seat. Everybody run up, have a fucking seat, bitch. Don't nothing fold about me. I fold motherfuckers up. But on some real shit, they lucky my cousin went in there. It could have went real different, because, you know, he armed.
God, bro, I be ready to spin, bro.
And he don't play. He made from the same leather Black Air Force Ones made from.
I was in the office when it was going down, but, bro, hey, my cousin know I'm with the sits.
This real with us, bro. We come from this. My granddaddy was in the sit-ins.
Yeah.
Shit, my grandma was the damn seat Rosa Parks ain't want to get up from.
Don't think because we chairs, we don't stand on business.
We ain't no reserved seats, bro. We in your face with it.
We sturdy over here.
Oh, and that bitch that caught my bro lacking at the Waffle House? Don't think we forgot about you. We on your ass.
And under it.
Bro, what?
I mean, because you got to sit in chairs. I'm pretty sure she sit down every day.
Bro, this is not the time.
This majestic hawk, with razor-sharp focus, had seized a deadly serpent in its talons. The predator's intent was clear. A venomous feast awaited. But as the hawk gloated over its prize, nature's script took a sudden twist. In a breathtaking turn of events, the serpent, seemingly submissive, transformed the narrative. Swift as a coiled spring, the snake executed a mesmerizing maneuver, circling its lithe body around the hawk's neck with calculated precision. The once confident hunter found itself ensnared in the lethal embrace of its intended prey. The serpent tightened its grip as the deadly dance of life and death unfolding in the wild theater. The hawk's eyes widened in sheer astonishment, reflecting the realization that the tables had turned. The predator had become the prey.
Some argue The Simpsons have been predicting the future for years.
What a bleak, horrible future we live in!
The Simpsons is one of the most famous shows in the United States, and also one of the most controversial.
I got a few things to get off my chest.
Beyond the wild antics of Homer Simpson and his family, the show has gained popularity as a reliable source of accurate predictions.
Look ahead 30 years to the man you will become.
From Trump's presidency to Lady Gaga's Super Bowl performance,
I am officially running.
The show has proven itself as the crystal ball with which we can see into the future. Join us on this epic adventure as we take you through the top 10 scary Simpsons predictions for 2024.
If you ask me, everybody in this theater is a giant sucker, especially you.
Number 10. Apple Vision Pro. The Simpsons is currently the longest-running animated show in the United States, with 760 episodes released over the course of 34 years. But that's not the only reason the show is famous. Throughout history, The Simpsons have established themselves as an accurate predictor of the future. Just in the early hours of 2024, The Simpsons recorded another win following the release of Apple's new groundbreaking product, the Apple Vision Pro 8. The company had been taunting this new product for quite a while, and finally on February 2nd, 2024, the Vision Pro was released to the public. It has since become the rave of the moment. This new virtual reality headset allows viewers to enjoy a range of hyper-realistic VR experiences, from an Alicia Keys concert to a rhino charging at them. But is this really the first time the world is being introduced to this product? Maybe not. You see, back in 2016, The Simpsons released an episode titled Friends and Family. In the prophetic scenes that unfolded, Mr. Burns hired Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie to play his live-in virtual reality family as a trial run for a new headset that bears an uncanny resemblance to the Vision Pro. As soon as the product became available to the public, though, Springfield erupted in chaos. It didn't take long for everyone to get addicted to the new craze, and soon people were falling down manholes and walking into lampposts. While distracted by these futuristic headsets. How could The Simpsons predict the invention of such a product 6 years before it was ever announced? Was it black magic? or just a stroke of luck. As soon as news of the Vision Pro's release broke on the internet, one X-user was quick to point out how The Simpsons had made the prediction a couple of years earlier. But when a show has been running for over 30 years, they're bound to get one of two predictions right along the line. So this may end up being a big fat coincidence. But even though it would make sense to dismiss the scenario as a mere coincidence, The Simpsons have done this so many times that it's quite hard to dispute them at this point. But The Simpsons' predictions aren't limited to tech gadgets and inventions. Sometimes they even make political prophecies.
That's okay, Mom! We got money! Now just a darn!
Number 9. Trump 2024. On November 8, 2022, former U.S. President Donald Trump revealed his intentions to run for the presidency one more time in 2024. It was a really anticipated announcement, which had been preceded by months of speculation. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States. These were the words with which the billionaire businessman made his plans known to the world, and considering Trump's reputation as a controversial figure in American politics, the news instantly went viral. But while everyone focused on the pros and cons of a Trump presidency, the creators of The Simpsons were quick to point out that the show had predicted this move back in 2015. It was Al Jean, the show's producer, who saw the news and immediately came on Twitter to share this snapshot of the episode where The Simpsons had predicted that Trump would be making a comeback in 2024. This is where everything gets interesting. In this particular episode titled Bart to the Future, we see Homer Simpson as he appears to fall from the sky. A campaign poster could be seen in the background with the words Trump 2024 etched on it.
So wispy. It's a gravity-defying comb-over. I can't believe it.
How did the writers and producers know that Trump would be running for president? Is this just another lucky coincidence? Or do the show creators experiment with dark magic to get a glimpse into the future? That remains to be seen. The craziest part of this whole story, though, is the fact that the episode was released before Trump was ever president. This adds another layer of mystery to the already confusing situation. But it still goes even deeper. This was not the first time The Simpsons would be making a prediction about the former president. In an even earlier episode from the year 2000, the show predicted that Donald Trump would one day find his way to the highest seat in the world's most powerful nation. It looked like an outlandish claim. But in January 2017, the controversial businessman was sworn in as the President of the United States. Coincidence? We'll leave that for you to decide.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
Number 8. World War III. As we explore the scariest Simpsons predictions for the year 2024, we travel back in time to November 1987 when the show was just in its second season. On November 22, 1987, The Simpsons released the 16th short of the series. It was titled World War III. Until today, it remains one of the most uncanny episodes ever released.
You know, we saved your in World War II.
Yeah, well, we saved your ass in World War III.
Although it was masked as satire, the episode follows the story of Homer Simpson as he tried to prepare his family for the Third World War. It opens with Homer frantically waking up everyone in the house with an alarm that World War III had started, and the bombs were dropping. Thankfully,
wake up everybody! It's World War III!
Everyone was able to make it into the bomb shelter within just 18 seconds. But then Homer revealed that he was only joking, and that there were, in fact, no bombs dropping. But could this seemingly satirical episode be a premonition of things to come? Could this Simpsons episode become reality just like others before it? Many people would love to think so. Not to be an alarmist.
And we're really gonna need some laughs then, after World War China.
But our world is in serious trouble. According to Wikipedia, there are currently 5 major wars going on around the world, including the internal conflict in Myanmar, the Israeli-Palestine War, the Russia-Ukraine War, and the war in Sudan. There are also some minor conflicts in some parts of the world which are impossible to ignore, like the Colombian conflict, which took the lives of over 2,000 people in the past year, the Somali civil war with over 9,000 fatalities, the communal conflicts in Nigeria, with over 3,000 fatalities in the past year, and the Mexican drug war, which led to the death of over 7,000 individuals in 2023 alone. With these staggering figures, many experts continue to argue that the world is in a state of war already. We move closer to an official world war. As the tensions between the United States and other world powers like Russia, China, and North Korea continue to escalate, we could already be in the corridors of the Third World War. Or it could all just be a massive conspiracy. Number 7. Colonizing Mars. The Apple Vision Pro, Trump's presidential ambition, and World War III all seem like pretty fascinating predictions, but this next one knocks it right out of the park. On March 13, 2016, episode 16 of The Simpsons' 27th season aired. It was titled The Marge Ian Chronicles, and it featured one of the most interesting predictions ever made by the show. In this episode, Homer Simpson and his family are selected for a special program which will take them on a space flight to the planet Mars.
Ladies and gentlemen, mankind's first residents of Mars.
After surviving a stimulated habit for a week, all the males proved to be quite useless for the project.
And that's one thing they can never take away from us.
Lisa and Marge, on the other hand, proved to be highly skilled, and they made it through the final selection. Unfortunately, when it was time for liftoff, the engines failed to ignite, and it was later revealed that the project as a whole had been fake from the very beginning.
It's not a real rocket. It's the outside of a real rocket.
We did plan to build a real rocket.
The twist in the story was, however, that Marge and Lisa eventually made it to Mars, although it would eventually happen in 2051. So how does this relate to real life?
My life! If I want to leave Mars and move to Venus, you can't stop me.
That's where Elon Musk comes in. At this point, it isn't news that the SpaceX CEO is on a mission to colonize Mars and transform the inhabitable red planet into our second home. But what most people don't know is that in 2020, Musk revealed his plans to launch the first crewed mission to Mars. In a December interview with Matthias Döpfner, the CEO of Axel Springer SE, a German media company, Musk stated that he was highly confident that SpaceX would launch people toward the red planet in 2026. But if luck was in their side, it might even be as early as 2024. Sadly, SpaceX didn't really get that lucky. In 2023, Musk revealed that Mars enthusiasts may need to wait a bit longer to visit the red planet, as it might take another 3 to 4 years before the dream would become reality.
Yeah, it really makes a difference to have this 2 screens and the angle change. It's like...
He also revealed that with the development of his new Starship rocket, life on Mars could be right at our fingertips. Imagine being able to book an interplanetary flight from our green Earth to places that are light years away. It could be the singular most monumental achievement in human history. Who knows? Maybe by 2051, there will be more Martian cities than anyone can count. At least by then, The Simpsons will be able to say, "We told you so." Number 6. Virtual reality food. If you thought the prediction on the Vision Pro was crazy, you should see the latest tech gadget The Simpsons already predicted in the year 2000. To understand this one, we travel to episode 17 of season 11, which was accurately titled Virtual Reality Food. In this particular episode, Homer and Marge Simpson can be seen indulging in a VR dining experience, with their headsets on and a straw through which they receive a fudge that strangely tasted like anything they could imagine. It was like the perfect mix of technology and fantasy. But could it be a real thing?
This virtual fudge tastes like crap.
As the world becomes more and more digitally integrated, could we transform our meals into digital delicacies? Apparently, yes, we can. Meet Aerobanquet's RMX, a company that promises a culinary experience like you've never ever had. Imagine being transported to the digital cosmos, a place where the impossible does not exist. Imagine dining among the stars and enjoying a culinary experience in a world beyond the physical. This is the vision of Aerobanquet's RMX. The innovation is the brainchild of artist Mattia Casalegno and a team of professional chefs and restaurant owners. But dining in the virtual world isn't just about the food. For just $125, diners get 7 bite-sized courses. But then, with every taste, they are transported into a whole new world. However, the technology isn't quite there yet. Only 4 people at a time can dine at the restaurant, and each of them will require the full-time service of a waiter. However, many experts believe that this idea may actually pick up in the future. Or what good is a futuristic Earth when our food hasn't been digitized? With the giant strides that are being made in the field of virtual reality these days, it wouldn't come as a surprise to see such a technology become commonplace in the near future. 15 years ago, who could imagine that a gadget as advanced as an Oculus headset could become generally accessible to the public? VR technology has infiltrated homes and governments, and its influence continues continues to spread. This dream of digital dining may or may not happen in 2024. Remember, you saw it first on The Simpsons.
Not half as good as Cyberfudge.
Before we go on with the rest of the video, here's our subscribers' pick for today. As we unwrap the scariest Simpsons predictions made for 2024, our attention is drawn to the Israel-Palestine war and the strange predictions the Simpsons made about the war. Are we about to witness a shift in the political and military climate of the two nations? Or are things about to get even more dramatic? The outcome remains uncertain, but digging even deeper into the mysteries surrounding the Simpsons predictions, we uncover theories from skeptics and non-believers who are not swayed by these prophecies. Even though some have come to pass over the years, many people believe that these were just lucky coincidences. If the Simpsons aren't really predicting the future, why do they get everything right over and over again? Share your thoughts with us in the comments sections and join the conversation. Now let's get back to the video.
To prevent your poisons from spreading, your government has sealed you all within this dome.
Number 5. Baby Translator. Baby talk is one of the most adorable things in the world, but sadly no one has any idea what these little cuties talk about. But what if we could? What if humans could actually decrypt the babblings of a little baby? The Simpsons saw this coming many years ago, and they foretold its invention. In the final episode of the show's 3rd season, titled Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?, Homer's half-brother Herb invents a gizmo that could translate a baby's words.
It's a baby translator. It measures the pitch, the frequency, and the urgency of a baby's cries.
At the start of the episode, Herb, who had lost his fortune in an earlier episode, approached Homer to lend him $2,000 to develop a new product, which could translate baby bawlings into real words. The idea turned out to be quite successful.
What could you be trying to say? Nothing downstairs. You just took a nap.
And Herb made a whole lot of money. But was this just another crazy idea, or a prophecy of things to come? As it turns out, this prediction may actually become reality in the year 2024. As crazy as it may seem, a company known as Zoundream is currently working on making the technology accessible to everyone. According to the company's website, Zoundream claims to have a non-invasive monitoring system, which will help parents and pediatricians determine the needs of infants and toddlers. Agreeably, there are dozens of software and apps available online that claim to be able to interpret baby talk and cries.
Lavish attention on me and entertain me.
Maggie, you talk!
But at the end of the day, most of them turn out to be fake. So, what makes Zoundream any different? Well, Zoundream claims to employ artificial intelligence in their analysis through a pioneering system that provides sound-based solutions that is more accurate than other competing technologies. As our understanding of artificial intelligence continues to broaden, the prophecy given by The Simpsons could be closer to reality than we know. If everything goes as planned, we could be holding a real working baby translator in our hands before the end of 2024. Number 4. Black Hole. Treehouse of Horror. 23 is another Simpsons episode that seems to accurately predict the future. The episode was released on October 7, 2012, and it was so good that it received an Emmy nomination. But there was something eerie about the storyline. In this episode, the people of Springfield gathered to witness the activation of the town's particle accelerator. But as soon as the device was turned on, 2 particles collided with each other, creating a small black hole which then floated off. This was the beginning of unimaginable horrors.
It's a lot worse than a stray dog.
2 stray dogs?
It's a black hole.
After the black hole sucks off Ralph and Nelson, Lisa takes it home to keep it away from trouble. However, this turned out to be a huge mistake. Even after warning Homer and Bart not to throw anything into the hole so as to prevent it from getting bigger, the father and son turned deaf ears to this warning as expected. They even went as far as opening a business to allow people to throw their junk into the black hole for just a small fee. But the more they filled the hole, the bigger it became, and soon it became so big that it started swallowing everything around it. Before you could say Jack Robinson, Springfield was lost in the belly of the beast, followed by the rest of the world. This could have been one of those prophecies that get taken for granted until you consider one tiny detail.
Guys, stop throwing things in the hole. The more you throw in, the bigger and more dangerous it becomes. comes.
You see, in January 2024, India decided to step up their space game by launching a new X-ray satellite known as XPOSat to help broaden our understanding of the universe. XPOSat's mission is to study several cosmic bodies, including supernovae, neutron stars, and of course, black holes. Coincidence? We don't think so. But the most important question remains, can our planet be swallowed by a black hole? The short answer is no. Despite the abundance of black holes in the universe, Earth is actually not at the risk of being swallowed by one of them. This is because at a distance, the gravitational pull of a black hole is no more compelling than a star of the same size. This means that even if our sun was replaced with a black hole, our planet would still remain in orbit. What this means is that our planet can be marked safe from this prophecy of impending doom, at least for now. But even if we escape being pulled apart cell by a black hole, this next prophecy seems destined to happen. Number 3. AI takeover. In a world where imagination often clashes with reality, The Simpsons seem to have discovered how to blur the lines. In episode 17 of the show's 23rd season, Simpson delivered yet another shocking prediction, which may likely become a reality in 2024. The episode follows the adventure of Homer and his boss, Mr. Byrne. After being advised by his lawyer that his human employees were costing him more money than necessary, Mr. Byrne fires all his employees and replaces them with robots. With everyone out of their jobs,
You fool, these are robots. You will train them, and they will replace you.
The town experiences a 99% unemployment rate, except for Homer, who was retained to keep up with the robot maintenance.
Mr. Burns, before I leave, I got a few things to get off my chest.
The robots would eventually turn on the humans as they tried to murder both Homer and Burns, before they were eventually saved by the townspeople. For the people of Springfield, that was the end of the story. But those of us in the real world are left to grapple with the possibility of that becoming a reality.
Guys, thank you. The words Prime Directive get thrown around a lot these days.
This brings us to the question, will artificial intelligence ever take over the world? We've seen it play out in many science fiction movies, and of course The Simpsons have predicted it a couple of times. But is 2024 the year when AI turns on us humans? Believe it or not, that's actually quite possible. And here's one of the reasons why. A new study published in January 2024 revealed that certain AI programs are capable of resisting the sophisticated safety methods designed to keep them in check. This study was carried out by a team of scientists at the AI safety and research company Anthropic, and their findings are nothing short of terrifying. By programming several large language models to behave maliciously, this research company tries to prepare for the worst-case scenario and develop new techniques to bring an AI program back under control if it ever slips out. But as the researchers found out during their study, some of these large language models had learned how to ignore the training technique and maintain their rebellious ways. These AI programs have also learned to conceal their rogue actions during training, so detecting which program is working under control and which one is not can be quite tricky.
Please research your own.
Experts believe that artificial intelligence will affect the society and economy in many ways, many of which are quite negative. For example, recent innovations in the field of robotics and artificial intelligence have raised concerns that human labor may eventually become obsolete. Just like in the Simpsons episode, people are beginning to lose their jobs to AI, and many believe it will get even worse in 2024. As AI replaces the traditional labor system, imagine one machine being able to do the work of 10 people at a fraction of the time. It's the perfect way to save money. But if you thought that would only affect blue-collar jobs, you'd be very wrong. Artificial intelligence has penetrated every single field, including education, journalism, and legal research. Every sector could become fully digitized, and our species could find itself at the mercy of the machines. Number 2. Female presidency.
We got a chance to ask the vice president about their campaign strategy.
On January 20, 2021, Kamala Harris was sworn into power as the vice president of the United States. This is a day that would forever be etched in the nation's history, as she became the first woman and the first African American to attain the position. But what if we could kick that up a notch?
I think that the people of America want more.
What if America welcomed her first female president in the year 2024? Sounds like a dream, right? The producers of The Simpsons seem to think this was a plausible idea. Let us take you back to episode 17 of the show's 11th season titled Bart to the Future. In this episode, Lisa becomes the first female president of the U.S. after claiming the seat from former President Trump.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
Maybe it's because it's election season in America, or maybe the scenes just seem destined for fulfillment. But many Americans are hopeful that the dream of a female presidency would become reality in this election year. If that happens, it could become one of the most monumental events in American history. Many have tried in the past, but no one had ever claimed the crown. First was the legendary Victoria Woodhull, who became the first female presidential candidate in the United States back in 1872. Although there is some dispute surrounding the legality of her candidacy, Woodhull is generally considered the first woman to set her sight on the highest seat in the land. She obviously didn't eventually win the race, but her candidacy cleared the path for other women like her in the world of politics and leadership. Then, there was Margaret Chase Smith, who became the first candidate for a major political party after she was nominated by the Republicans in 1987. However, she couldn't make it out of the primaries after qualifying for 6 state primaries and coming in second in Illinois with 25% of the votes. Chase was followed by Charlene Mitchell, who also made history after she became the first African-American woman to run for president in America. It was the year 1968, and she also holds the record of the first woman. Then, of course, there's Shirley Chisholm, who became the first African-American woman to run for president under the Democratic Party. After Chisholm lost at the polls, it took another 36 years for another woman to appear on the ballots under the Democratic Party. This woman was Hillary Clinton in 2008, and then again in 2016. It was in this July 2016 elections that Hillary Clinton became the first woman to win the popular vote. After amassing a staggering 66 million votes as opposed to Trump's, the record remains unbroken till today. But could 2024 be the year that America would crown its first female president? With Nikki Haley announcing her bid for president, no one can predict the flow of fate. But if The Simpsons are right again, and America gets a female president, it would become one of the most memorable moments in history. Number 1. Hologram technology. Over the years, The Simpsons have proven to be a pretty reliable source of prophecies and predictions, especially in the field of science and technology. From predicting virtual reality food to the baby translator, the show has been consistent for quite some time. This next prediction takes things to a whole new level. In episode 9 of the show's 34th season, Bart Simpson is depicted as an out-of-luck musician who receives a hologram invitation from a mailman, inviting him and his band to a party.
Hey, Dingus, your band can play at my club tonight.
While the rest of the episode was satirical, the part about hologram tech caught the eyes of many people. Holograms have been around for quite some time, but will they become more common than before? So common that mails will come as holograms. Well, a company called HoloConnects seems to be working on something similar as we speak. Meet Andre Smith, the CEO of HoloConnects, whose vision is to bring people closer no matter the distance between them. With his amazing invention, the HoloBox, this reality could become commonplace in the present year. So, how does it work? Well, the HoloBox is built like a phone booth, which will display a full-sized holographic rendering of the person you're talking to. This tech is so advanced that conversations will feel natural, even if the person is thousands of miles away. But that's not even the craziest part.
Good morning, you guys. I am just so impressed with this technology. I mean, I need to get right to it.
You see, as advanced as the HoloBox is, it doesn't require any tech knowledge to operate. As a matter of fact, the only things you will need is electricity and internet connection, so it's basically a plug-and-play system. Could this HoloBox and other hologram tech become commonplace in the year 2024, though? We'll have to wait and see. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.
Just because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died.
You ready to get supersized?
She died too.
Today I've got the big Fruit Loop.
He's dead.
Join me on my Fat Positive radio show,
which didn't last long because she died.
What's the power in the number 13?
13 is the number of the matrix itself. Matrix starts with M. M is the 13th letter. There's 13 ruling families
in the world. You have the Rothschilds on top, and then you have the 12 other Pinzer families. They have that 1 plus 12 code equals 13 all across society. Example, 1 judge, 12 jurors. 1 plus 12 system.
Why do they make you fear it?
It's a homage number because you got to fear the elite. You understand? It's a homage number. They pay homage that way. 13 is like Friday the 13th. It's very symbolic of fear. So again, you have 1 main Federal Reserve Bank in Washington, D.C., and 12 more all across the country. Jesus Christ, 1, 12 apostles. Astrology, 1 sun, 12 signs. It's everywhere around you. McDonald's, Big M. M is the 13th letter. Let's go to the Philadelphia 76ers.
I'm the most feared man in Hollywood. They don't like me in Hollywood.
Why do they not like you in Hollywood?
I don't wear dresses. I don't do that gay stuff on TV. They had to get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking, that's gutter. But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord. So I play tough guys, but young kids want to be soldiers. Young kids don't want to follow a guy to wear a dress. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Now that we're back, we're also back to fulfilling your video topic requests. Big shout out to the Patreon gangs. Salute! Naturally, we'll be prioritizing your requests. This video topic request comes from Patreon gang member Mr. Morales. Salute! This is his message. It just occurred to me, how about a highlight of Steve Urkel, Laura Winslow's relationship, with a focus on men Laura was dating, and them having to deal with Urkel being an orbiter disrespecting the relationship. Mr. Morales, thank you for your message. Salute! This is a great opportunity to make a video about Steve Urkel and Stefan Urkel's relationship with Laura Winslow. Now, before we get into this, let's give you a little background information about Family Matters. Family Matters is an American television sitcom that debuted on September 22, 1989, and concluded on July 17, 1998. With a total of 215 episodes spanning 9 seasons, this spin-off of Perfect Strangers revolves around the Winslow family, an African-American middle-class family residing in Chicago, Illinois. Midway through the first season, the show introduced the Winslow's nerdy neighbor, Steve Urkel, played by Jaleel White. Originally scripted as a one-time character, Urkel quickly became the show's breakout character and eventually joined the main cast. For this video presentation, we're revisiting a pivotal moment from 30 years ago, Season 5, Episode 8, titled Dr. Urkel and Mr. Cool, a clever reference to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This episode explores valuable lessons about the universal attractions and turn-offs for women and men. We'll break down this video into 5 chapters. The unwanted Steve, expressing a desire for change by complaining. Stefan Urkel's allure. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. And the deeper lessons. Disclaimer, this happened to our Everybody Hates Chris video. Special shout out to the Patreon gang, because that video is no longer visible on YouTube. This Steve Urkel video contains copyrighted footage, so we will be freezing it frequently to prevent copyright infringement. The original video will be available on Patreon. If you enjoy our content and want the full experience, consider supporting us on Patreon. We meant it, we. Yeah. We meant it, we. Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, I'm so very sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I A while back, we made a video about Superman and explored why women prefer Superman over Clark Kent. Steve Urkel exhibits many features similar to Clark Kent, leading to Lois Lane not being attracted to him. The same principle applies to Laura's lack of attraction to Steve Urkel.
The Daily Planet has a tradition. I'm sorry.
Steve Urkel is the quintessential nerd with his oversized glasses, suspenders, and a voice that could shatter glass. When you combine these traits with his quirky body language and clumsiness, it tends to turn off most women.
And clumsiness is only part of the problem. You're also annoying and socially inept.
Gee, you're just quite the cheerleader, aren't you?
Help me out here, Steve. Why are you the way you are?
Well, for the same reason you're gorgeous and Eddie is loaded with muscles. Bead-like strands of recombinant DNA called genes arranged along the 23 pairs of human chromosomes.
Right. But what happened to yours?
Genetics play a role here, and I'd like to highlight this aspect because what Steve Urkel said holds true. Genetics are beyond our control, and some individuals are blessed winning the genetic lottery, so to speak. This brings me to Steve Rogers, who was on the opposite side of the spectrum in terms of having a natural build for a soldier. Despite his courage and the right mentality to be the best soldier, genetics gave him a body that was initially tiny and weak. Keep this in mind because Laura is about to make an interesting point.
Steve, is there anything you can do to change yourself?
Well, why? I like myself. I'm comfortable with me.
Well, that makes one of us. Because I'm not comfortable with you. I've got 3 flavors of milkshake dripping down my leg. Steve, it would be nice if you tried to change. And it would be even nicer if you did it soon.
Change. This is where I'll dive into the harsh truth about women in general when it comes to change. Buckle up for the next chapter.
Steve, is that stuff safe?
Who knows?
Steve.
Tired of Steve Urkel, were you? Wanted someone better, did you? Someone cool.
The truth about women is that they are never satisfied. A significant reason for this lies in their emotional nature. Emotions fluctuate. One doesn't feel the same every day, and these variations lead to a desire for different experiences, a yearning for improvement. When coupled with societal pressures that bombard women with notions of better and more, psychological studies show that once someone has tasted better or more, reverting to less or worse can lead to depression and other mental health issues to which women are more susceptible.
Today, we are talking about body image. We told you just a few moments ago that the impact of social media on mental health can be devastating, but it can also cause and perpetuate body image issues affecting eating behaviors, sleep quality, social comparison, and low self-esteem, especially among adolescent girls. And the facts really are startling. According to a study by Front Psychiatry, did you know approximately 50% of pre-adolescent girls and 30% of boys dislike their bodies. And around 60% of adult women and 40% of adult men have a negative body image.
It's not inherently problematic for women to want more from men or seek better partners. The issues arise when women express their desire for change with expectations that are unrealistic and solely through complaining.
What can men do leaving here? Be better. Be better at everything.
Our Oprah goofy ass laughing, boy, we know she been on a roller coaster of not being better. I find that funny how they went to her high pitched ass laugh too, boy. Oprah better calm her rich ass down. Because we all know, like they said, if Oprah wasn't rich, yeah, she'd still be another chick in Chicago that nobody gives 2 cents about. Laughing that hard about
Laura, for instance, desires Steve Urkel to be better, but she never actively helps him improve. The reluctance to collaborate in the improvement process is, unfortunately, a common turnoff for women. This dynamic is mirrored in the reverse scenario as depicted in this clip.
Sweetums, we have a small snafu. What? Well, the machine is busted. But the evening's still young. So what do you say we get back to those lip push-ups? No. No! Wait, Marv, what's the matter? Why are you leaving?
I can't talk more, Steve.
I know things look bleak right now, but we can work this out.
I must be cursed. I finally find the perfect guy. Handsome, cool, and caring. I give him my heart, and what does he do? He leaves me.
No, but... As God is my witness, I will not rest until Stefan Urkel is back. Forever!
Even though Laura is aware that Stefan is a transformed version of Steve, she shows no interest in assisting Steve in reverting to Stefan after the elixir stops working. Without hesitation, she exits the situation. This bitter reality resonates with many men, including examples like NBA players as seen in this clip.
Right? You know, now we talking to a girl who now looking at us like we ain't no more. Right? Shit, you ain't got no games today. Watch these kids. Who you think you talking to? You better look at my resume. Well, that resume is old now. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, most of our problems come when we're done because, you know, we have to try to reinvent ourselves from the person we was since we was little.
That's real shit.
Facts.
Without trust, there can be no loyalty. And without loyalty, there can be no true growth. In modern society, it's evident that decisions for women to divorce or leave their partners are often emotional. Research aligns with the idea that shared survival and common purpose contribute significantly to the longevity of relationships. For instance, a married woman might think twice about divorcing her husband if it means potential homelessness. The decision-making process often involves weighing common purposes, and men are increasingly frustrated and tired of losing everything due to the unpredictable and emotional decisions of their partners. This clip provides insight into the challenges faced when emotional decisions overshadow rational ones.
I never thought I'd say this in a million years, but... But what? I miss Steve Urkel.
Why?
Because he had feelings. He cared about people. Face it, Stefan. Numero uno on your list is you.
Can you blame me?
Yes.
Look at me. I'm incredible. Good looking, charming, suave, and cool.
That's it. I want Steve back. Yeah, but unfortunately, he was also self-centered and shallow.
What if Steve could fix that? Huh? Why don't you ask Steve to make a new, improved Stefan?
How dare you, Max? What? I am not so hard up for a guy that I would crawl over to Steve Urkel and beg him to bring back Stefan. Please, Steve! Please bring back Stefan! Pretty please. What's she gonna tell?
What you won't do.
Laura, I'm confused. When I was Stefan, you begged me to change back into Steve Urkel.
Well, that's true, but that's because Stefan was shallow and insincere, but
Couldn't you create a better Stefan?
Be better.
Many women make impulsive decisions only to regret them later, realizing that men like Stefan Urkel are not easily replaced. This brings us to the next chapter.
Stefan?
That's right, baby. I'm back. And you've got me.
The beauty of good movies and TV shows lies in their ability to portray a spectrum of emotions and qualities, from what is scary, comforting, ugly, pretty, funny, to stupid, and in this case, attractive. Attraction is not a choice, and that's what makes it universal. Let's take a look at this clip.
This elixir will improve my coordination, my posture, my vocal intonation, and I might even sprout a chest hair or two.
Now compare that with this iconic scene from Superman.
Fix my hair and some blush on.
Lois, there's something I have to tell you. I'm really...
I was, at first, really nervous about tonight. But then I decided, well, darn it, I was going to show you the time of your life.
That's Clark, nice.
I was thinking maybe we could go for a hamburger or whatever.
This classic moment illustrates how a simple transformation, like removing nerdy glasses, changing posture, lowering one's voice, and speaking a bit slower, can significantly alter how people interpret or perceive an individual. Let's take it a step further.
Please, party on, party on.
In our previous video about Nora Vincent's experiment, we touched on the saying, clothes don't make the man. However, they can certainly make the man look great. Moreover, clothes convey a lot about a person, which is why uniforms exist. Steve Urkel embodies the quintessential nerd, and for his character to work, he needs to look the part. The same principle applies to Stefan Urkel, who appears in sharp 90s fashion. He looks fantastic. Now let's take it another step further.
Baby, you are worth another trip.
Confidence, the quality of being certain of your abilities or having trust in people, plans, or the future. For women, confidence is often at the top of the list, if not, definitely in the top 3. Good leaders exude confidence, and women desire men who can lead. Even in modern society where women advocate for that equality foolishness, they still expect a man to treat them specially. Special is not synonymous with equal, and due to women's hypergamous nature, they tend to date up, marry up. Check this out.
Where is he? I don't see him. Where is Stefan Urkel? Relax, Casey. He isn't here yet. How's my hair? It's fine. Fine? It's just fine? For Stefan, it's gotta be perfect.
Stefan was more than all right. He was gorgeous, cool, and hurt me sexy.
It's crucial for women that other women find the man of interest attractive. This is why we emphasize high status men, high value men. It's pure gold that an episode from 30 years ago highlights all the essential elements that make a man attractive, proving that this information isn't new. It has been around for ages. Today, in the age of information and advanced technology, Accessing this information is as simple as pushing a button. The good news is, guys, you can work on these aspects: posture, body language, voice intonation, clothing style, confidence, and yes, even status and reputation. Now, let's explore some of the challenges.
How do you feel?
Taller. Genetics, once again. It's pure gold how Steve Rogers becomes taller after taking the super soldier serum. Agent Carter cared about Steve, but in real life, she would never have dated him if he remained shorter. Remember this clip?
What would it take to get a date for Stu at just 5 feet? First, we made him an up-and-coming actor. No.
No.
Not. Then we said Stu had made millions by age 25.
No. No.
Not for me. Nothing worked.
How come nobody picked Stu? He's too short. He's too short. He's too short.
We asked if there was anything we could add to make Stu irresistible.
Maybe the only thing you could say is that the other 4 are murderers.
Right, are convicted of some crime.
That would definitely. Child molesters, psychotic.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we would say, oh, okay. Hello, Stu. Right. I mean, and nothing bad towards him. He's got a nice smile. He's cute.
But no takers.
Height cannot be taught. You can go to the gym, lift weights, and grow taller. However, there are limb lengthening surgeries that can increase your height. Exercise due diligence by doing in-depth research before considering such practices, guys. Taking into account the associated risks and costs. The same principle applies to facial looks. All the Avengers are good-looking men. You cannot be an Avenger without looking good. It's in the contract. Good-looking people enjoy certain privileges. In the movie industry, it's all about making money. The combined earnings of these movies reached almost $30 billion. That's with a B, making it the highest grossing superhero film franchise and series. Looks matter. With online dating becoming the norm, data from these apps indicate that women find only 20% of men attractive, and it might be even less. So if you're not a Chad or a Tyrone, it's best to stay off of these dating apps.
Laura, I've been Stefan Urkel for a week, and I've got all the things I've always wanted: friends, fame, and popularity. But if I don't have you, I have nothing.
Unfortunately, this line didn't age well, considering we're looking at an episode that aired 30 years ago. No signs of smartphones, no signs of social media, and the name of the show is Family Matters. People related with families. That's why advertisements, movies, sitcoms, etc. were directed at families. Family was important, and having a family one day was the ambition. Fast forward 30 years later, and we're dealing with the lowest birth rate since documented in the 1800s. Society has become extremely individualistic, and having children is not the priority of the modern woman. Data shows that women are having children later in life, yet there remains a natural desire for men and women to come together, which has the foundation of romance. Look at the definitions of romance. Janice, read.
A close, usually short relationship of love between two people. The feelings and behavior of two people who are in a loving and sexual relationship with each other.
Romance was never the foundation of traditional relationships. That's why relationships lasted longer in the past. Now, let's go back to Stefan Urkel's quote: "If I don't have you, I have nothing." So if he does have her, Laura in this case, what does he gain that is worth sacrificing everything that he has gained as Stefan Urkel?
Steve, I know you're busy, but I really like Stefan. And if you bring him back, I'd be his girlfriend.
But I'd be Stefan, so really you'd be my girlfriend, right?
Right. And isn't that what you've always wanted?
Having Laura as his girlfriend is everything he always wanted. It's worth sacrificing everything he has, including his life for. Now, what does Steve gain by having Laura as his girlfriend? We've highlighted that Laura doesn't help him become the man she wants him to be, indicating that she is not a helpmeet. Besides that, she leaves him the moment he turns back to Steve after his elixir wears off, indicating that she is not loyal and not appreciative of the hard work it takes to become a man of excellence. And to take it a step further, she wanted Stefan to turn back to Steve because he wasn't perfect.
I never thought I'd say this in a million years, but...
But what?
I miss Steve Urkel.
This is after a week of being Stefan Urkel, indicating that if things are not going the way she wants them to go, she's looking for a replacement. Probably already has one. Fast forward 30 years later, and we're dealing with over 50% single adults. Let's read some data from the Pew Research Center. Janice, read.
As of 2022, Pew Research Center found 30% of U.S. adults are neither married, living with a partner, nor engaged in a committed relationship. Nearly half of all young adults are single, 34% of women and a whopping 63% of men. Not surprisingly, the decline in relationships marches astride with a decline in sex. The share of sexually active Americans stands at a 30-year low. Around 30% of young men reported in 2019 that they had no sex in the past year, compared to about 20% of young women. Only half of single men are actively seeking relationships or even casual dates, according to Pew. That figure is declining.
Young men have drawn the conclusion that the juice ain't worth the squeeze. All this effort for a girlfriend who's not willing to help you become the best man you can be, who's not loyal, who has unrealistic expectations of what a man is supposed to be, who has no problems having sexual relationships without being in a committed relationship, which is supposed to be one of the perks of having a girlfriend, and has no interest in building a family, particularly at a young age. It's interesting to see how change in society impacts the behavior of people. Let's go to the next chapter, the deeper lessons. A man can reinvent himself if he understands his value. It's not the woman that makes the man. Iron sharpens iron. However, a woman can inspire a man to become a better version of himself. Therefore, engaging with the opposite sex should be done with caution and utmost discipline. Take a look at what's happening to Vince McMahon, a man who's been at the mountaintop, and his fall is attributed to his dealings with a woman. His legacy that took decades to build will always be tainted by the foolishness he chose to engage in. Let's see what happens when the lawsuit is over. He's not the first man, and he won't be the last to face trouble because of interactions with the opposite sex. Control your urges and stop thinking with your little head. Only add a woman to your life with a specific purpose in mind. Remember, she is a helpmeet. She's supposed to help you and be a valuable asset to your life. Personally, for me, it was family. Hence, I knew I needed to find a woman who is family-oriented and part of a culture that values family. This led me to take my talents overseas early. Go where you are appreciated. Play this game to win and define what's considered a win for you. What works for me doesn't have to work for you. Last but not least, we're not going backwards, brothers. Even though it might feel like that sometimes because we're focused on that dating foolishness. It's not what's happening. You shouldn't look at it like that. What's occurring is the law of cause and effect. Society is forever changing, and human beings respond to these changes. Evolution has always been our destiny. It's not a coincidence that the ways of the past are no longer effective in modern times. Therefore, I need you to let go. I need you to recalibrate. Go monk mode for 30 days and find out what's important to you. Make sure you write things down. Read books that can take you to the next level, because this world has options. We're not in charge of the hand we've been dealt. But that doesn't mean we can't make the most of it. This doesn't mean the only choice we have is to roll over and DIE. I want you to play this game to win. Because we meant it, we. Shit. Patreon supporters, salute! Man, that's where we work it. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been...
333. 3 is the number of communication. So when anyone sees those 3 numbers together, they have to basically start communicating more. Whether it be going to a party, you have to be more social. 555, it might be a baby on the way. 5 is the number of sexual energy. 666, 6 is the number of family. So again, most people think that's some kind of...
Oh my God.
Most people think that's a negative number.
Is that why they make it so negative? Because they're against the family unit?
Exactly. So it's not just that, but think about it this way. 666 is not the number of the devil, okay? There might be a devil, I'm not saying he doesn't exist, but 666 is not the number. 666 is the number of time itself. 60 minutes in an hour, 6 and 0, 6. 60 seconds in a minute, 6 and 0 and 6. And 24 hours in a day, there is your 666. It's very simple.
What are the reasons that people see these 3 numbers?
So here's the thing.
That cannot be coincidence.
No, of course not. Here's the thing. Everyone sees those numbers. Most people just aren't aware of it. They think of it's a coincidence.
Scarface quit.